that
Oh.
Watson's lawsuit was settled?
Yeah. Welcome to Stirring the Pot with Lou Marconi and Johnny Cleveland. Part of the Fanatical L's Network, fans first. Join us now. Ah, hey Lou.
Yep.
Good evening.
Hey, I'm still here.
We're both here. We're here. It's a Monday night,
Still
and
here.
we're celebrating.
What are we celebrating? What do you got going on?
Guards lost earlier
Is
today.
it-
Damn it! But Browns
Yes.
played like crap Sunday.
Mhm.
But we're celebrating everything else under the sun. Anything else you want to celebrate?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't know if you had a bar mitzvah or something going on.
No, just beautiful weather. It was a nice day. The Buckeyes won. Guards did win game one.
Yeah, we could, and we have a huge weekend of college football. You got Oklahoma and Texas with a Red River rivalry. Did I say that right? Red River rivalry. I mean, it's
Yes.
really hard to say.
Tongue twister.
Yes, it is. And then, of course, Sunday night, 7:30, Ohio State travels to Eugene, Oregon to play the Oregon Ducks. So yeah,
Good,
that's gonna be a fun. That's a
good news tonight. Also, Lou, just to let you know this already, that we have actually a live feed going on here with fans first. It actually worked this time.
Yeah, I
So,
see that. I see that. That's good. I can see that. I can see it on the controls here. You see, this
yes.
is that's fine. I was gonna say the other thing. There is a reason to celebrate at the Chardon YMCA.
Mhm.
They were in need of volunteer coaches for Cavs junior basketball. So I am volunteering coaching the 7 and 8-year-old basketball team that my daughter will be playing on.
Yeah.
So I
No
plan.
going off the.
No. These are kids. These are kids. But I do plan on working my way up to NFL offensive coordinator, so everybody on Twitter X can second guess everything I do. So I'm looking forward to that. That's my career goal. It's my that
Well,
I
we
hope to be a diversity hire. Yes.
we want to thank all of you for tuning in here to our Stirring the Pot show, a part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of Fans First Sports Network. Lou's got his Burning River Browns talk. I've got my Johnny Cleveland podcast. We've got a variety of other podcasters on our network that are doing a fantastic job.
People are afraid to comment. I love it.
Steve Gill had his Dog Pound South show this morning.
I'm sure he wasn't happy.
No,
he wasn't.
We're 5 weeks in, and he basically just said the season is gone. And I talked about it last night on our postgame. Thanks for tuning in to our postgame show.
If they keep playing like that, yeah, it is gone. Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
But,
yeah,
negative, news. People are. There's been a lot of stirring the pot today, Lou, with everything with the Browns. And so, you want to lead? Let's talk about Deshaun just right before we get into what happened. But there is some news tonight that broke.
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
As far as I know, all of right now, because I was checking on some stuff here.
Yeah.
His recent allegation, Tony Busby, they had a confidential settlement with the plaintiff. That's all I know.
Yeah.
That's all that was reported.
Yeah.
One, I know this for sure. There were never any criminal charges.
Yeah.
So nothing criminal happened. Two, I haven't heard of any discipline by the league at this time.
Right.
Somebody asked a question on X. They tagged myself, Quincy Carrier, and Jack Duffin on it, wanting to know if could they redo Deshaun's last 2 years of his contract and try to trade him. And basically what Jack Duffin said was he's scheduled to make $92 million in the next 2 years, and nobody is going to trade for that.
No.
No. So we got him this year. We got him in the next 2 years.
Yes.
And the best thing we could do is try to make it work and hope, see if these guys can figure it out. Now, there was another thing. There was Jabril Peppers. He was arrested. He was arrested in Massachusetts.
What happened with that? What was going on?
He got arrested Saturday morning for assault and battery. He was actually choking somebody with a deadly weapon. I'm not sure. No. Plus, he was in possession of a I want to say this the Class B substance in Massachusetts law. It's probably cocaine.
Okay.
So so he had possession, assault and battery. He was arraigned this morning, as far as I know. And I did the article about it because I saw as a former
Hmm.
Browns player and I thought it was pertinent. And he was a part of the Odell Beckham Jr. trade in
Yes.
2019. Yeah. So he went to New York for a while. And then the last couple of years he played with New England. Hmm.
Well, he played for that team up north too when he was in college. So,
Yes, he was. And
um,
he was, let me check. He didn't play in the game when the New England lost to Miami. It was
yeah,
I want to say, what was it?
Tyler Huntley was the quarterback for Miami, and they won that game, right? Is that what you're referring to this weekend? No.
Yes, it was a 15 to 10 Dolphins win.
Okay.
And as far as I know, he wasn't playing because he had he was out. He was inactive due to a shoulder injury. So,
Okay.
but the Patriots did release a statement say, "Hey, we are aware of this, and the police are investigating it." They didn't really say much else because there's really nothing you can say until it's all done. So,
Right.
but I just said I gotta, it's. I kind of made a comment in my article saying, "Hey, this is another example of a professional athlete getting in trouble with the law.
Yeah.
I hope he didn't do this, but if he did, the justice should come on him, and maybe it's
Hmm.
a life lesson he can learn the hard way." So who knows? Who knows?
Hmm.
I will say this though: if I was in my early to mid 20s, looking back, and somebody put a pile of money on my lap, I would be in a lot. I would. I was so immature and stupid.
Well, right. Okay.
I would have screwed it up. I would have screwed it up.
Elephant in the room tonight, and I keep talking about the elephant in the room, but we're all talking about it today. Deshaun Watson,
What
the
about him?
night, like the 92 million. Okay, all of this. So
Yeah.
basically, there's lot more people today that are basically saying Deshaun Watson, and this is from local media, uh,
This is a
national
drum
media.
beat.
This is
That's
that's just
happening. Yeah.
yeah, basically that he's lost it. We've been talking about it for weeks, but they've asked Stefanski last night after the game, "Is he your
Hmm.
quarterback?" Stefanski said, "Yes, he is." I'm under the I believe that he doesn't have the control, or he can't make that decision. I know you disagree with that, but
Well, I
I
don't. No.
think
No. 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 No.
okay,
No. Wait.
okay,
I don't know.
sure.
I don't
I'm
know.
just gonna take that's right, right, Lou. And I respect that. I'm gonna go out on a limb
You're going out
as,
on the limb.
as
You're
I'm the
speculating. I'm
crazy
just like,
Brown
I don't
fan that
know. Yeah,
right.
I don't know.
And
I'm just saying I don't know.
and, and it was interesting because I was watching I've watched numerous other people today, from the national
Mhm.
folks who I know we that like to bash Cleveland anyway, to the local media and the
What
local
a
guy
surprise.
the
What's new?
on the sports show. Okay, but
That's
the
why I
local
do
guy in the
this.
sports show, and I forget his name, but I've always liked him. Not the Bush character, the guy that's on the show, and not Jeffrey Lloyd, but it was the other guy who's been in
Oh,
Cleveland.
the
He
Ultimate
was on
Cleveland Sports Show?
yeah, and he was the pizza guy on ESPN when that pizza show came out years ago, Cold
Cold Pizza?
Pizza. He was
Was it,
the host of
Jay
that.
Crawford? Jay
Yes.
Crawford?
So Jay
Okay.
Crawford, what he said about Stefanski and Deshaun is basically he said what I just said, that he doesn't think that Stefanski has control, or he can't make that decision. But he also what he said about Stefanski, and if you want to talk a little bit about Stefanski maybe for a minute, he thinks that Stefanski isn't that kind of a personality kind of coach, and that he got signed to this new contract. They did this extension, earlier, when in the spring or the summer.
Both him and
Yeah,
Barry last
but
summer, yeah.
if he like what Crawford was saying, that he believes even back then that Stefanski's never been the one making the decisions. It's always been Haslam, and it's always been Barry, and that Stefanski basically is okay with that, mostly because of his personality type. I mean, Crawford was not bashing his personality type, just saying this is what Stefanski is, and he's
Okay.
okay with that. What do you think about all that?
Well,
Or
let me ask you this. Did you hear the press conference today, the Zoom call from Stefanski?
yes, I saw a
Did
good
you hear
chunk
I
of
di
it. Yeah,
Okay, did you
I
see when
did.
they asked him about the decision, and he says he talks there's a collaboration
Yes,
with Andrew and
yes.
them, so I think there's a collaboration there. Yes, I think that's possible. Who is the final decision maker? Hey, if it could be Haslam. It could be. I don't know. He's the guy signing the
Yeah.
checks.
It
He's
was
the owner.
interesting, like you said, how he portrayed that. He said that multiple times when he was asked that.
Yeah, he said he
All
kind of made it sound like it was a collaboration process, or he at least talks about what we're doing, and he goes, "Yeah, I report to them." In other
yeah.
words, that they're his boss. So yeah, like I have a boss I report to, and things I have to do. So it's understandable. So yeah, like I said, whether or not Hassel says, "Hey, we have to play this guy," well, I don't know. Does he have a phone? I remember the old Art Modell stories, and Art Modell had the phone from the owner's box to the
Yes.
locker room, and he's telling them what plays to call. It's I and it's just it seems like it's. I swear to God, John, I swear, you could pull articles from like 30 years ago, take out the
Oh,
names and the
yeah.
dates, and you would look at it and you would think it was something that came out 2 weeks ago. I'm not kidding. So
Sure. Sure.
it's kind of like, but when we're old like us, we kind of seen this and done this. So it's like,
Well, and it puts everything in a little bit more perspective for the both of us.
mhm,
And I,
mhm.
I found myself again. It's tough because we're going through these emotions, and we all had this really good feeling
I
going
got
into
it
the.
out of my system last week.
Well, yes, you did. And by
I just lost my shit. Nobody's commenting. I love it today.
by the end of the first quarter, though, and into the second quarter, and by halftime, it was. I mean, literally, I went to the store. It was 17-3, and all I thought as a Browns fan, and this is Browns fans
Yeah, and
sometimes,
that touchdown happened when Ward was out.
when who was out?
Denzel Ward was out with his hamstring injury.
Ah, yeah. And so then there
Mhm.
was 24-3, and it's like, okay, well,
That's it.
they showed
You
some
knew the
hope
game was
that
over. Yeah.
that series, if we want to talk about that for a second, because again, the first opening series, we got the ball back and a good turnover. The Browns defense, I thought, again, played well, but like we said
Mhm.
off air, there's just so many things that you can do as a defense when your offense is constantly going 3 and out. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the Browns get the ball, they move it down to the 2 yard line. The first play from goal is a they
Somebody commented,
oh,
"Hey, thank
hey
you,
Brian.
Brian. Hey,
Uh,
Brian, thanks."
they said that it was a legal motion, so it sent him back 5 yards. Next play, I think Deshaun ran out of or tried to run around, or it was an incomplete pass or something like that. I'm trying to remember what
Is
happened
this
in
the
that
one we
sequence.
got to the 2 yard line?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah.
And then you get to the third down and then the fourth down. And on the fourth down, we all know what happened, but there's been a lot of complaining or people that weren't paying attention to the game saying how Deshaun walked off the field angry
Yeah.
and quit. And that's ridiculous. That's
That
not what
wasn't what
happened.
that's not what happened, and there was a lot of procedural stuff that was going wrong in communication, and in the post-game press conference, because
Mhm.
I for my job, I have to do that. I have to listen to
Yeah.
post-game sound and Monday sound, and I'm sure I'm gonna hear stuff on
Yeah.
Wednesday too. Was, okay, he basically said it's on me. It was a
Hmm.
communication problem. It was on me, and that
Hmm.
was it. Deshaun,
Right.
Deshaun just said we took the penalty. They kicked the field goal.
Right.
All right, move on. So that's what they did, and whatever communications issues there were, the thing that concerns me the most about this team, and I said this to you, like lead the league in drop passes, lead the league in quarterback pressures, lead the league in quarterback sacks, lead the league in penalties.
Hmm.
It's a disaster when you
Hmm.
do that. They're third. I think they're the 30th ranked offense
Hmm.
or something. No, 27th in the
Hmm.
pass, and 27th in the run, and 30th in the pass.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, what happened? Because a lot of most of the line hasn't been healthy. That's a part of
Hmm.
it. But
Hmm.
it's going like Zach Zinter had a bad game.
They're all. I mean,
Yeah,
yes, and
Zach, and they figured out how to attack us by stunting. And I
but
know there was like in the first half, you were saying there was time,
they
right?
did. There were like in the opening moments of that game. There, I guess what's so disturbing about, if we get back to Watson a little bit, is
Sure.
that he's been so inaccurate. Like the week before,
Yeah,
it
he
seemed
was
like,
inaccurate early. Yes, he
yeah,
was.
Amari Cooper, there were at least four passes thrown toward, at least four, and probably five thrown toward Cooper, and they were so off the mark. It just, and the
Yeah.
worst pass I thought, and I don't know, it was early, maybe it was the second quarter. Do you remember the little? He scrambled a little bit to his right, and David Njoku was like 5 yards away from him, and it looked like he was throwing the ball like a 12-year-old at a football game in elementary school. He tried
I
to
kinda remember that,
kind of
yeah, I
jack the
remember
ball
that
to
play.
Njoku. He threw it behind him, and Njoku kind of went like, "What the hell was that?" I don't know what was going on there. Now, I will
Yeah,
say this: later in the game, on that sequence when they didn't score the touchdown. Jerry
Yeah.
Jeudy, dropped the ball. I mean, he should have caught the touchdown.
That was a touchdown. That was a touchdown that
Right,
was
and
earned.
that's on
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy. That was a great throw. So I don't know, again, he tried to tuck it in
He
like they said, like these guys, they bring it into their bodies and they don't try to catch it with their hands.
Yeah, the
And
same thing
that's
like what Deshaun did on that interception. The last interception he threw was in. I mean, he really they said he threw 3 interceptions. 2 of them were against Dallas. One of them was bounced off of Amari Cooper's chest, which and
yes.
yeah. So there was I was going to say this about Deshaun. The thing that I've noticed the trend throughout, even back when he was in Houston, he's a late starter to games.
Yeah.
And he's also a late starter in the season. Like he gets better as the season goes on. I'm kind of interested because I'm kind of wondering, like, all right, is this season going to be a wash? Is it going to be a mulligan? Are they going to regroup? Are they going to clean house? I don't know about cleaning house. I don't think Haslam would do that because he stuck with Hugh Jackson for over 2 years. So, I
That's a
mean,
good observation. Yeah.
yeah. So just because that's why I'm thinking, like, but everybody, I mean, I could see it on Twitter. I could see it everywhere. The call-in shows, the sports call talk shows. Everybody's mad. Everybody's angry. Of course, it's understandable. But with that being said, I kind of say, okay, I'm going to watch this team. I'm going to go to the games. I'm still going to be a fan,
Mhm.
but I'm going to have a different perspective. Let's see what they do from here.
Well, and Lou,
'Cause
that's
if
yeah. I was going to follow up on that because I think I mean, like we talked earlier, that we're both been fans, and many of us, or many
been
of the
through
people that are
worse.
watching that have seen this, we've been in that mindset. So for so many years, a decade or two, as
Hmm.
Browns fans, where we go into these games like preparing to lose.
Right.
And when they win, it was always like, oh, hey, they won. And I mean, that stretch between 2016 and 2017 when they finally Baker, threw
And
the
when we open up that victory
it
for
was
it,
amazing
and actually
feeling.
Baker did that podcast about that. I know he said he actually speaks very highly of Cleveland Browns fans.
Absolutely. And that's why,
And
Lou,
yeah,
I'm telling you,
I don't have a problem with Baker. I
Baker's
don't.
going to come back to Cleveland before he
I didn't have a
retires.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem when he was here, just to be for the record. It's just a lot of the fans that wanted him gone are now posting up stuff they want him back. And I'm like, you said you wanted him gone 3 years ago. Now
No,
you want him. Yeah. Not
yeah,
you. I'm not accusing you of that. They know who they are. They know who they are. I was at
Baker
that
Mayfield
Detroit.
deserves. Oh yeah,
I was
uh,
at that Detroit game last couple years ago when he looked. I mean, he looked terrible. That was the worst I've seen him look. And it's like,
oh, that's right. That game,
and
yeah,
yeah, he basically ducked out. He didn't talk to the media, and
yes.
Mary Kay Cabot was on the radio because I'm
Did we
driving
win that
home.
game or lose that
We
game?
won by 3. Nick Chubb
Okay.
basically won us that game because he just kept running the ball on Detroit.
Okay, well let's pause for a quick break and then
Please, yeah, let's do
let's
that.
talk about Nick Chubb for a minute after the break.
Okay,
This is the Stirring the Pot with Lou Marconi and Johnny Cleveland. We'll be right back.
sure.
We're back. Thanks for joining us here on Stirring the Pot. Nick Chubb was at the game. You could see him on the sideline.
Hmm.
He's prepping to come back.
Yep.
This team is 1-4. Everything, I've heard a lot of people telling me today at work, Nick Chubb should just take a knee. Don't even plan on coming back this season because
He doesn't play. He doesn't operate that way. Neither do I.
I'm like, no, he's gonna play. I mean, and then it's like, well, the offensive line sucks. Um, okay, yeah, and I know what people are saying, and I'm not gonna disagree with everybody completely about the offensive line. And I like Zach Zinter, you're right, played like crap. I mean, DeJuan Jones looked
He had a good game in Las Vegas, but he had a bad game against Washington. Washington has always had a good defensive line. Let's be fair.
Washington, yes, and that, yeah. Now,
And I didn't realize the turnover they had on their roster. They have 33 new players from last year.
wow, that's a lot.
They said that during the broadcast. So,
Well,
so
my stepdaughter, Kara, her boyfriend Reggie, I call him Mr. October because
mhm.
his
Yeah,
first name's
Reggie
Reggie.
Jackson.
Reggie
Reggie
Jackson.
Jackson.
He's a
Hey,
young guy,
boy,
so he is,
we're dating ourselves now.
but Reggie is a big LSU fan. And at their home, he literally has a shrine of LSU stuff in the basement.
Okay.
And so Jaden Daniels now plays for the Commanders, and so he's a Browns fan,
He had a hell
but
of a game.
but
You know what
he
his
was
quarterback rating was? I got it for you. Hang on.
yeah
This is interesting.
yeah
This threw me off. But go ahead. Go ahead. I'll get it
no
up. You keep talking.
yeah no anyway I was just okay. So we're talking about Nick Chubb for a minute, I guess. my thought on coming back. It sounds like he's still working his way back. Maybe comes back for that Cincinnati Bengals game. I think Steve and maybe you had suggested that because the
Bengals or
Bengals,
Ravens. I think he has 21 days from when he came off, and it would either be Bengals or Ravens that he
and
has
he's
to get.
always done well against the Bungles. Historically, he's always had some pretty good
I think it would
games.
be a good boost for the fans to see him play. I don't know
Uh,
how effective he'll be or how good he'll be, but it'll be tough. Okay, Jaden Daniels was 14 for 25, 56% completion percentage. Wow.
less than
No way. I mean, because considering
yeah,
this guy against the
was
Bengals is 91%.
yeah,
238 yards, one TD, one interception,
yeah,
sacked him three times, and he had an
yeah,
85.1 quarterback rating. And
I
he
mean,
beat us with his feet because there was that one fourth down play that
oh,
JOK had a clean shot and he just completely whiffed on him. And
oh,
as soon as that happened, I'm like, I mean, JOK doesn't miss that normally.
no,
So
but
it's like it's like there's something weird about this season. I can't explain it and I can't put my finger on it or my thumbs. Um, it's
well,
just there's
I just think that Deshaun Watson, the hit. Okay, my
go ahead.
stepson Clay says he texted me after the game yesterday, and he says, I'm going to read you the text, and this is from a 20-year-old who watches the Browns. He's a young Browns fan, and he says, and you might not agree with this, but
He can
I
say whatever he wants. Yeah.
yeah, I tend to like. He says it. He acts like he doesn't want to be there, and it affects the whole team. That's all he said. And I've been kind of saying, like, Deshaun's mindset to me, he doesn't seem like energized and just the whole vibe. And you're right. I don't know what's pulling
Yeah,
everybody down.
if that's the case, then you know
Why
they
is everybody being pulled down? Is it
what
because
is
they're just losing now? What's
I don't know. Well, if you hear the sound from the players and you hear the sound from the team, you wouldn't think that, but that's talk. I want to see it on the field. So there's a difference.
I mean, yesterday the defense started out. I mean, they're doing all their handshakes and everything, and
Everybody was good. I mean, the defense actually played pretty good. We had the ball moving, and it was like when that we didn't convert that fourth down. If Zach Zinter makes that block, we convert the fourth down. So
yeah.
it's just stuff like that. Now, if you want to, I find it hard to believe a two-time NFL Coach of the Year all of a sudden forgot how to coach. I
Yeah,
find
and I
it
don't
hard
think
to
he.
believe.
But I
Yeah,
don't think he has, right? I mean, I don't think he
no, I
has.
don't. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm finding it hard to believe that a Pro Bowl receiver like Amari Cooper forgot how to catch, and a Pro Bowl quarterback forgot how to play quarterback. It's just like, what is going on here? And now they don't have Chubb. They have a lot of guys hurt on the O line. Jerry Judy, he was mediocre in Denver, especially for being for a first round pick. We thought maybe if we have him here and around the right guys in the right environment, he could flourish. And he's been okay so far.
But the fans, the attitude amongst a lot of the Browns fans seems to continue to be. It doesn't
Mhm.
seem like Deshaun's giving a lot of, or it doesn't seem like he's engaged in a variety of ways. Either if he's not standing there in the huddle, or if he's sitting on the sideline, you oftentimes see him with a towel over his head. I mean, I know we're not seeing everything because we're watching it on TV, or like
And you only get shots of it, yeah.
yeah, so you're
Well, when
not
he's
seeing the
outside the
whole.
huddle, he's getting the play. I know he's standing outside the huddle and getting a play, and they're substituting. He doesn't wanna have 11, 12 men in the
I
huddle.
don't know. Do you just think?
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
yeah, I know, but I know what you're saying. Um, I can't I don't know if that's it. It might be part of it, or if it's just like this weird year. Because I remember I was talking to the guy from Baltimore.
mhm,
When I was on Mike Davis's show in Dallas, and he had a guest on from Baltimore,
right.
and I said, "Was it what year was that when you guys got like ravaged with injuries, and you only won like 4 or 5 games?" And he says, "Oh yeah, that was I think he said it was 21. It was like 4 years, 3 or 4 years ago." I was like, I said, "Okay." No, or something like that. No, it
Was it
might have
been 22?
22. He might think he said 22. Yeah. So he said it's something like that
Because
happens.
21 was the year that Kareem Hunt and them had that crazy game. No, no, that was 2020 when they had that crazy back and forth
Yeah,
on
that
that.
was a Monday night game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a Monday night game. It was a back and forth, and we lost. No, it's because I think when Lamar Jackson got hurt, and then it was just kind of and Ty Huntley was their starting quarterback.
We
What do
got
we
a
got
comment.
here? Yeah, we do. Hey, fellas, most emotion saw from Watson was when he went off on Jones for the missed block.
And
Yeah,
that was the
that's
week
true.
before. That's
That was
true.
the week before. Yeah, there's lots of guys out there that they just don't necessarily wear their emotions on their sleeve. Not it doesn't mean he doesn't have them. You just don't. If you're not seeing it, because I always said this too. Like there was the Bill Belichick type of coach, or a Tom Landry type of
Yeah.
coach, or a Chuck Noll type of coach, where you didn't really they didn't do it
All
that.
right.
But okay, but
Let me.
then you got a guy like Cower,
Yeah.
where he's like type A, he's spitting fire and everything, and the fans related to him
Mhm,
because they could relate to that emotion. They
mhm.
saw that on his face. Where other coaches, you don't see that. But go ahead. I'm
No,
sorry. I just wanted to finish that thought. Go ahead.
yeah, no, and I lost my okay, let me just try to stir the pot a little bit. Few
Did we take
people
a
have been.
break? Did we take a break
Yeah,
already?
we did. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Let's
Hemisphere Coffee Roasters.
yes.
Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. While you get your thoughts together, click on
Um
the link, the details of the show, description of the show, order up some coffee. It's good stuff. It's a sponsor of the show. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being with us. We really appreciate you. All right, go ahead. I do. Even though when I go off
Bill
sometimes I do.
Bill Belichick.
What about him?
Well,
He's on the ESPN2 broadcast with the
he's
Manning
on
brothers.
out there and some, Browns fans are starting to throw his name around. And here's the thing, I'm thinking they're
I'm
showing
laughing. It ain't
I know
coming here.
they're showing pictures of him and his 23-year-old girlfriend
Well, good for
while
him.
he's wearing a Taylor Swift shirt. And it's just, you know,
Good for
um
him. Good for him. Good for him. 23-year-old girlfriend. That's one Bill.
anyway,
That's one big Bill.
yeah,
You know
yes,
that. That's
yes,
going to be one.
yes.
That's all. I'll tell you this. There was I was when I was working this one job and I was out in the field as a rep, and I went to visit this office. I was talking to the head of the office, and he had this beautiful Latino woman working in the front desk.
Mhm,
She was very nice and everything.
mhm.
And he kind of he just shook his head and he said, "She's one big Bill." That's what he said to me. I was like smart man, smart man.
So
Yeah, he
you
was
let's
married too.
where do you see okay. So I asked you this last time, and again I'm gonna ask you again. We're 1-4. We got
Yeah,
Philly coming up on Sunday.
tough game.
Philly is not, I mean, they're not in great shape, but they're coming off of a bye. And the
Oh, they're
Browns,
coming off of a bye.
yep.
Oof, oof.
And the
Okay.
Browns don't seem like they're going anywhere. Of course, it's the NFL, anything can happen. But I'm not getting a great feeling for this game. Do you
Nah,
think that we have any chance of being Philly on Sunday?
anything could happen.
Mhm,
Uh, if we clean up, and I mean seriously clean up the offense on first and second down,
mhm.
we'll have a chance with this defense.
Okay.
Yes, that's what they have to do. They have to clean up the mistakes. They have to clean up the missed assignments. They have to clean up the penalties. And they just got, when he has time, he can throw it. Now, Deshaun has to play better early in the game too. So I'm
Mhm.
not putting it all. I'm not giving him a free pass in any way. But
If
I
he
think
lays an egg in the first half of the game on Sunday in Philly, does Stefanski go to Winston?
hmm?
Does he
Stefanski go
does
to
he
Winston.
yeah, does he bench?
I'm not in Stefanski's head, so I couldn't tell you. So I
No,
don't know. I don't think so. He's staying
no
by him.
chance.
So
Okay.
then, well, then don't watch. So
No chance. Yeah. Yeah. So they're if they win, they get a win, they go back home, they're gonna play the Bungles, who also lost 1-4. Boy, I'm telling you, Bengals fans are frustrated today. I have several that live here in Columbus, and they were telling me or how the game ended down there in Cincinnati. They had a
oh
10-point lead late against the Ratbirds, and they just blew it. They had
yeah.
opportunities and just couldn't run the clock management. And
Or they gave up what they gave up. Pittsburgh gave up a late touchdown to
mm,
Dallas. I mean, I
yep,
was in bed already because they had a rain delay.
right.
Yeah, while
Yeah.
the rain delay was going on, I watched Tulsa King. So
Good show. Good show.
very,
Yeah.
very good show. Paramount Plus, yes. I get it. I'm getting it for free now with my Spectrum.
Oh, nice. You get it on
Yeah.
Spectrum for free?
Well, I get with my Spectrum subscription,
Oh, I should check that out.
I get Disney Plus and Paramount Plus for free. I'm like, cool. Yeah.
Wow.
That's like, yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. They they're cool with it. Yeah, my daughters love the Disney Plus stuff.
Oh,
So
the Disney's good for them.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But I didn't mean to change the subject, but
no,
I like to listen to other markets and other
mhm.
places, and Pittsburgh's ready to drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
and they lost 2 games in a row. I mean, it's just
Right.
it's the fan and they, it's interesting because everybody because I this is a true story. When I lived in Raleigh, North Carolina, it was the 2011 NFL draft. You remember who the number 1 overall pick was in that draft?
Raleigh, wait, you lived in North Carolina 2011?
It was
Um,
Cam Newton.
oh, okay. Yep.
People were calling up sports call and radio
Mhm,
complaining about the pick
mhm.
before they even made it and saying we had Jimmy Clausen. Why are we picking this guy? I'm like,
Ah,
yeah. I mean, he had a good career, but his shoulder injury kind of screwed him up when he was done after that. But
do you think okay, so they
mhm,
if they lose this
then they
game
lose. Then they're
on
one and
Philly,
five.
they're
Hmm.
1-5 coming home, and you and I've been down to that stadium all season long, and we've lost 2 home games already this year.
Hmm.
I don't see how, if they get into that game against Cincinnati and they get down and they're losing against the Bengals, how Deshaun Watson and Stefanski are going to get out of that stadium that day. There will be so much hell, so many fans. And I know the fans
Well,
don't matter, but it's going to be ugly if they're 1-5 and they're playing the Bengals and they don't play well. Um,
if they don't play well, then they don't play well. I mean, I don't like to think that way. To be
yeah.
honest with you, I don't
Okay.
like to. I don't. That's just not my train of thought. It's just not how I
Game
operate.
at a time.
Yeah, I mean, then you go, okay, then that's really all that's all you can do, and I just I can't put this. The
Okay.
vibe was weird during the training camp and coming out of the
Mhm.
season. This has been a weird season, just for
And
just for just for I don't know
don't
how
you
to
just feel?
describe it.
I just feel like we're locked to this whole situation. We're trapped in this marriage between the Stefanski, the coach, who's 2-time coach of the year, and they brought in a guy, Deshaun Watson, who has
Mhm,
shown greatness in his
mhm.
career, but is a shell of himself emotionally. I
He's not.
feel that he's a
He
bad. I've been saying this for a long time that I feel that he's a
well,
basket case.
he was 5-1 as a starter last year.
Well, I got that. I get,
Yeah,
and
so I'm like,
I'm not
I, people,
dismissing that.
no,
Yeah.
no, no. I'm just saying. Yeah, I might say he was great or he was perfect. No.
Okay. Let me ask you this then. On the
Mhm,
offensive side of the ball, somebody asked Stefanski, and you probably saw this in the presser, maybe today. They said, "Well, why can't you go back to what you were doing last year?" Well, it's a different offensive coordinator for one.
it's a
Um,
different system. It's a whole
right.
different
You can't
thing. Yeah,
just, you know,
throwing it
somebody
all
was
out.
saying on social media, well, we just need to start running the ball. Well, the way that this offense is set up by Ken Dorsey, it's not like that, right? It's a spread offense
Yeah,
where the guy's playing out of the shotgun, right? I mean, pretty much
yeah.
that's you. Yeah,
Rod
we're in the
Serling.
twilight zone. That's right,
Rod
Brian.
Serling. Yeah. Picture yourself in a world.
Right.
You're the do 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 do. Yeah, it's a weird year. So, um,
Okay.
it's like a spread offense. The running backs are just kind of just
There.
it's just not yeah, they're just kind of there. There's no superstar like a Nick Chubb. But even when Nick Chubb comes back, we don't know what kind of condition he's going to be in. We have no idea how good
Mhm.
he's going to be. And are they going to have him go full go 25 times a game? Probably
Mhm.
not.
Mhm.
Probably not. They can't. I
No.
mean, I don't see them doing that.
Mm-mm.
And yeah,
Mm-mm.
I think what is it? Oh, just so you know, the Royals are beating the Yankees 4-1.
Nice. Okay.
So they got that
Yeah.
on.
That was earlier today. The Guards did take a loss. It was a good game. Stephen Kwan caught a great catch in the late innings, but then the Tigers hit a 3-run homer on a against our closer. I mean, it was a big
Mm.
moment for the Tigers.
They're
I hope it
showing the
doesn't.
highlights on Monday night halftime. The Ravens Bengals, and like Derrick Henry had a big run, and
Yes, he got a big run down toward the goal line at the very end, and they just kicked the field goal. But that was
oh,
after they had the block. The Bengals botched a.
and Joe Burrow's making more guaranteed money, making more money than Deshaun Watson. So
Yes, true.
not as much guaranteed, but
True.
more. So, but go ahead, go ahead. What were you
No, I
saying?
don't have. What's the reason why we're bringing in Dorsey and new offense?
I think it was they felt it was time for a change because the Alex Van Pelt offense was going stale. I think that's what it was, and it was time for a change. I think it's just right now it's not working.
Well, and it wasn't it more geared. Isn't this supposed to be like more geared toward what Deshaun Watson is like as a um he he
What
sure
does that
did.
mean, Sherry?
Oops.
Oops.
He
He sure did. E.g. What is
he his ego.
his ego? Is that what you mean? His ego? His id? Are we going? We're
I
getting
don't. I
Freudian.
don't.
We're getting Freudian here. Well, somebody like Thorell said this from my dog's podcast on my show, where he thinks that Stefanski's keeps the play calling out of his own ego. But if you think about it, he's also shielding a lot of blame from Dorsey.
Yeah, and he keeps saying that. He keeps taking all the credit. To a certain point, I respect that from Stefanski because my thumbs were excited.
Is that
um,
is that a thumb in your pocket? Or are you excited to see me?
yeah. Um,
You knew I
so
had
I
to
mean,
put
on
that
one
there.
end, I do respect that Stefanski does that, but I think it's driving the fan base nuts because
Oh,
he doesn't want to like go away, and that's fine.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that you are sort of the what your team is or what you the rest of the team kind of
Yeah.
exhibits what your coach is like. So
Well,
I
if you
don't
think
know where we're
if
going
they,
with this.
I don't know either. Let me just kind of we'll stir the pot here and play a little bit of devil's advocate before we wrap it up. Because do you see? Because I see that he stuck with Hugh Jackson through those 2.5 years
Yeah,
before he got rid of him. So I don't see them jumping to like cleaning house, and they know they got Watson locked up for the next 2 years.
I just can't
Do you,
see them keeping Watson. I just can't
they,
see it.
if they let him go, it's going to be a nasty cap hit. So
Well,
they
I
just
get that.
restructure.
I guess that's where I'm at, where a lot of
Well,
Browns
okay,
fans are at.
okay. Fan base is emotionally spent in 5 games. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm okay. Just so everybody knows, I'm fine. Let me just play because would they sit? You remember in after 2022 season, they sat down and they went, okay, where do we need to put our money and efforts into to improving? It was the defensive line, especially the interior defensive line,
Mhm.
and that defense became dominant the next year. Do you see them sitting down and trying to figure out the offense the same way after this season's over with, saying, okay, yeah, this season it was bad. We're done with it. Let's forget it. Wipe it
Mhm.
out. We're going back to work. How are we going to
Yes,
fix this?
yeah,
And
I
what do you see
do.
them? How do you see them attacking it then?
I mean, at this point, I don't know. I mean, I don't. I don't.
I could
I
see
guess.
them figuring out the offensive line. I would see a first round pick on a left tackle.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to
And
whatever the first. Yeah, it has to be a first round. It would have to be the offensive tackle, or people are speculating that we're gonna take a quarterback. It's
yeah,
either gonna
Deion
be
Sanders kid. Yeah, yeah, I'll take a quarterback. We could do
you
that,
bring
but
Deion Sanders in as to coach.
no, no, just his kid.
You
Just his
sure?
kid. Yeah, no, I'm Deion Sanders, the coach. No.
Haslam's like to make a splash.
Yeah, yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Bring his dad in. No, I don't see them.
Prime time here in Cleveland. Come on now, Lou. Think about it for a
I could
second.
see a quarterback being taken in the 2026 draft,
Mhm.
maybe. Watson's last year of his contract,
I
bring him
just
along. I don't see
don't
them doing it in
see him
2025
here.
draft. He's gonna you. It's not that you don't see him being urged; that you don't want him here.
Well, okay, true. I think
You just don't want him
there's
here.
about
We're all done
75%
with
of
him.
Browns fans right now who will agree with me that they do
I'm
not
just
want to see Deshaun Watson quarterback this team
I'm
any
looking
longer.
at the numbers. I am looking at the numbers. Just so you know,
Yes.
I am looking at the numbers. His numbers are not bad. They're not great, but they're not bad. His numbers are actually pretty good. I mean, yesterday's game wasn't as good as the Vegas game. He had a pretty good game. He actually played
Vegas
well.
game and see that's where okay, so I have
So now everybody's asking him to be
of
benched
hope.
when everybody wants him benched because obviously everybody wants to make a change for the sake of change, but it's not going to make a difference if we still cause penalties. We cause these third and longs. We still go backwards in first and second down. It's not going to do a damn thing.
Lou,
It's
it's
not going to
funny.
help a damn
One of
thing.
the things I think is funny when you hear people say, like, yesterday's loss was the worst loss that the Browns have had since 1999. And all I want to do is go, what the hell are you talking about? That's just so boneheaded. I mean, people are so like in the moment. Everything has to be like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's like,
Well,
come on. Lou, you
here
and I have seen so many hundreds of games.
I
Yes.
recommend this book. You see this?
Yes.
Can you read it? It's Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. It's a very
Good.
philosophical book called Stoicism. I recommend it to all Browns fans because it kind of teaches you in the moment it's certain things, but ti bad times come and go just as much as good times come and
Yes.
go. This is
Yes.
all temporary.
Yes.
This is
I
all
think that's a
temporary.
good observation, good book. Go buy the book.
Done that last week. So
Final thoughts tonight, Lou. What do you have to say? Let's finish it up
uh,
tonight.
I'm going to
What do you
have an
think?
article out that's going to probably tick a lot of people off. Not
What?
tomorrow. Not
You never do that.
No, I don't. Normally, I don't do things for contrary, but I'm going to say I think it's the right decision to keep Deshaun Watson as a starting quarterback, and
Hmm.
I'll put in why. I'll back it up,
Good.
and people are going to say, "Ugh," I can imagine the comments. It's just I can imagine the comments.
You can
Yeah.
save them for Friday for your Burning River
Oh
Brown
yeah,
show.
yeah. I will. I will avoid Stephen A. Smith
I
fans.
actually kind of like Stephen A. Rants today, Sherry. I have to. I
I
don't.
got to tell you, but no, he's horrible.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's like
So
that. It's like the iced
you
tea.
got a good article coming out of
I
him. That's
was
good.
doing my ice. That was my Stephen A. Smith.
That was pretty good. Well,
You
look
should
forward to watching your Burning
you
River
need to
Brown show. You
comment
got
on
some
my
other
shirt.
shows. I love that. What is that? Is Hot Rod?
Yeah, it's Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, I've got the I've got the Stewcast that's going to be Wednesday afternoon with Corey Castle. We're going to talk pro wrestling, the Mr.
Okay.
McMahon documentary, and Bad Blood pay per view. Also, the Sunday Stew Pot, which is with Corey Castle, it comes out every Sunday.
Hmm.
And I think the last but not least, I'm in the development with another show with Sherry, and Sherry's paying
Ooh,
attention now. Yeah, but it's going to be a Rumble only show. It's going to be on the Sunday Stew Pot channel called
nice.
the Shabbat Stew Pot with Lou and the Jew.
Oh my
That's
gosh, that is fantastic.
she says she
That'll be
likes the
fun.
Shabbat Stew Pot. So it'll be on Saturdays. On a
Very
Saturday
good.
and Sunday show. I keep myself busy. I'm putting out the articles. What I'm going to write about tomorrow is the preview of the Browns Eagles and a preview of the Ohio State Oregon. So
Excellent. Should be a lot of fun.
it'd be
Lou,
a
have
fun,
a.
yeah. You know, I tell you what, man. We'll see what happens next week. Let's just see. Let's just line up and see what happens. And
I'm
yeah, no,
all
the
in.
Eagles coming off a bye. That scares me a little bit. That concerns me. It's just like oof, and it's in Philly. So yeah,
Well,
but we got to move the ball on offense. We just got to be productive. We don't have to be
yes,
barn burners. We just have to be productive on offense and let the defense keep us in the game and get an
absolutely.
opportunity at the end. So that's honestly it could start turning around. We got to clean a lot of stuff up, and hopefully we could start doing. Now the Bengals fans, I can imagine they're like I said, they're ready to drink Kool-Aid with Steeler fans. So we could all have a big Kool-Aid party in the AFC North.
Hey, there's the exit music. Look at that. Did you see how I did that?
Yeah, he's playing me off like the Oscars. It's your worst nightmare. $230 million quarterback ain't worth shit. It's your worst nightmare.
Go Brownies. Stirring the
Yeah.
pot with Lou Marconi and Johnny Cleveland. Thanks for being here.
I kept my cool.
You were amazing tonight, Lou.
Oh, no. That's what my wife says. All
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Thank you.
We're not going there. Have a good night.